Okay, let's see whether the problem has been fixed. I'm going to have Mo Fayaz as my guest today. We are going to discuss about the recent case decision in the European Court of Human Rights regarding the Austrian lady's freedom of speech and calling Islamic Prophet Muhammad's act as that of a pedophilia. And we are also going to talk about Sinead O'Connor's conversion to Islam and Toby Robinson. Those are going to be the main issues of discussion this evening. I have made a few notes to make this discussion more informative. Okay, right. Mo, if you are there, send me ad request as usual, because on the last segment we are having some echoes. Let me see whether the problem has been fixed. So there's no point sending me ad request now. The only person I'm going to talk today is going to be Mo Fayaz. Mo Fayaz is an ex-Muslim as well, like me. He's a convert to Christianity, whereas I am an agnostic / atheist man. So Mo particularly wants to talk about Tommy Robinson. Let me see what he has to say. Right. Okay. Let me give him a few minutes so that he can come and join us on a live discussion today. Come back in, Mo. Come back in. Come back in. I am back in. Back in. Okay. Come back in. I can see that many of our Muslim viewers have already started sending me abuses. Well, I'm not really bothered about that, because we'll keep on saying whatever we have to say. Right. Mo.
Hi there.
Oh God. Oh yeah. You're still having that echo.
Still the echo, yeah?
Yeah, there's still the echo.
Oh.
Do you have a headphone or something?
Headphones I don't have. That's the thing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think you have to give me a few seconds so that this echo can be heard as well by both of us. Otherwise, we get confused, Yeah. Right. Okay. Anyway, my camera is not being very friendly today as well. Anyway, okay. Let's see. Let's proceed. So, how are you?
I'm fine. How's your health?
Right. I'm getting better. I'm recovering. Thank you for asking. I'm recovering. Recovering, but still not at the best of my health, but it's still recovering.
Yeah.
Thanks to some kuffar doctors.
That's good. I thought that we could start off speaking about Tommy.
Right.
His court.
Go on.
Yeah. Tommy.
You don't mind me having my tea, huh?
No.
All right.
Is it halal?
Desi tea, man. Desi tea.
Desi tea. Desi halal tea.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Tommy was quite kind enough to have me on the list to be in the court.
Okay.
And I went in there. I was sat in front of Lord Pearson and also the UKIP inner leader, Gerard Batten. Yeah. And I saw Tommy. I was actually above, and Tommy was in the court itself, and there was a black man sat with him. I don't know who he was, probably a friend, I don't know. Yeah, and it was quite an interesting hearing. It didn't go on for a long time. However, Tommy had written to the judge. It was a good, calculated move.
Okay.
And the judge alluded to the letter that he received from Tommy, which forced him to change his mind and not deal in the case himself, which is why he has now referred it to the Attorney General, passed the buck. Yeah, and I think he could have easily thrown the case out
Right.
if he chose to, but this is just another attempt to bleed him financially. Financially, but they forget that even if they try and do that, if they try to do that, Tommy's got a mass public support to give him money if he needs it. So their approach is futile. I am thinking that the attorney general in this case, if he's fair, he will end it and throw it out, or he will try and prolong it. But here's the thing: they have no grounds to even fine him. No grounds whatsoever. The only alternative that the attorney general has is to throw the case out. There's no case to answer. So yeah, I don't know what your thoughts on that is, but one thing I learned on that day, because previously I have hugged him, right? I offered him a hug on previous occasions, but on this occasion, I gave him a copy of my book because he, in the past, gave me a signed copy of his. So I just returned a favor to him. But on this occasion, he offered a hug to me. I didn't even have to present, myself to hug him. He hugged me, and that really spoke a lot to me. I learned even more about the man himself. It was a genuine, warm hug to say thank you for being there for him, and yeah, it was quite a touching experience I had from him, and yeah, I learned a lot.
Right. Well, as far as Tommy Robinson's case is concerned, oh, this echo is killing me. As far as Tommy Robinson's case is concerned, I will be. Can you do me this favor, Mo? Whenever I'm talking, can you press the mute button?
Okay. The mute. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see whether that works.
Is that okay?
I hope you have pressed the mute. Press the mute. You can mute it. Can you? I don't think you can.
No.
No. Okay. Right. But maybe we have to bear with it, I think. But I'll be honest, I don't know much details about Tommy Robinson's case. But I will tell you this, that Tommy has huge support in the Western world, especially in the UK. And whenever it comes to criticism of Islam, I agree with Tommy Robinson. And I have heard him speak on many occasions on YouTube, Facebook, and social media. And his criticisms against Islam are true. And I didn't see anything wrong in there. But this case, as far as I could gather, I also do not see any ground for it to proceed, as far as I could gather the information. As I said, I didn't have the resources to dig deep into the case, so I'll reserve my opinion, like complete opinion on this matter. But it's still, as I said, I will take your word for it, and I hope that he will come out having no charges against him.
Yeah, I think it will, and I also think that people, it's like us, for example, should be grateful for individuals like Tommy and others who are actually standing up against this ideology. That's really brave of them to do that, because they don't have to. And I think that's why I am excited and trying to encourage apostates of Islam to come out in the numbers and support this a campaign against this political ideology, because that's all it is. It's a political ideology which threatens us all.
Islam is a death cult.
Exactly, it's a cult.
It is a death cult, and it produces suicide squad members.
Absolutely, and
it's
this
a suicide squad making death cult. That's what it
absolutely. Is. And this one individual for the past 15 years has single-handedly taken on the establishment and has brought this agenda to the forefront, because without him, this agenda, especially in the UK, would not have been brought to the forefront. It has now. Not only that, 15 years later of his hard work and bravery, standing up against the establishment, has now gained world attention, which is good, because which is what we who have turned away from Islam need. We need this exposure. And yeah, it is good.
In Canada, in the US, whenever I go to those countries and to Australia or any other country, many of them do understand that we have a problem with Islam. Not Islamism, not Islamic only, or Islamist only. We have a problem with Islam itself. But at least in the UK, we are now in a situation where we can say many of us are getting united, especially those of us who understand that Islam is a problem. And to that effect, Tommy Robinson has taken a lead role. And I expect more people like you and me to come forward and somehow find a way to work together. But it seems ego is a big problem here. Ego is a big problem, and it seems that we cannot somehow accommodate ourselves in together and forget about the differences that we may have in our opinions. The number of people who understand that Islam is a problem are not in the minority. And also, lack of information is a problem. Tommy Robinson has written that book, and from the scholarly point of view, I may disagree on some issues or some arrangements of the book, but still, I will say that he has done a favor to the people of the West to understand how Islam is deceiving Muslims as well. So we need many people brave enough to come forward and say, we will not stop, we will not sacrifice our freedom of speech, and we will not hesitate to call evil in its face.
Absolutely.
And this kind of, you can say cases or complaints or whatever, are not going to send any kind of fear in the hearts of those like you and me who understand what Islam is all about. And we have lost everything. We have lost a lot, Mo. And
Absolutely.
what I have lost, you know very well. So, and we know Nisar, another brother of ours, what he has lost. So nothing is going to stop us from exposing this death cult. And we need to stand by one another. The hug that Mo gave you, I think it came, as you said, from his heart. Because Mo and you understand what Islam can do to you, even in the West, even in the UK. All of us can understand that. I'm in hiding. So are you. And Tommy, whenever he's going somewhere, he has to have a few people with him. This is not the UK we wanted.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
if as you said, if Islam is so peaceful, then how is it that people like you and me can't walk the streets of Bradford, Luton, or anywhere where there's a mass population of people that follow Islam? If Islam is peaceful, how come we can't peacefully walk the streets there? The evidence speaks for itself. I mean, as far as Tommy is concerned, I am grateful to him that he's actually now brought to the attention the problem that Aisha Bibi is having in prison. And I'm also grateful to him for bringing more attention to the plight of Mr. Hussein from Bradford. And I think the problem that Tommy has is he needs a team, because all the information he has, he's got too much to deal with on his own. And I think he will eventually, he will come and be on the same platform as us and take that on, because at the moment he's got things are happening here and there and everywhere. Everybody wants a piece of him. That's a problem, and that's hard to deal with. As ego, one thing about him, he has no ego, or because this man is a people's person, a guy that actually goes into prison and goes into isolation and is prepared to have a tin of tuna forced on him every single day. That's not ego, that is passion for the truth. And that's why I am eager to work alongside him, because he has no ego. He even goes against his security team and advice and goes into the crowd to say thank you to people individually if he can.
But the problem is many of the people in the UK and in the West, they don't know Islam yet. They don't know
No, they
Islam.
don't.
They
No.
don't know what Islam can do to your society. You know, some of them think Islam is just like another Abrahamic religion, and they think that Islam will sober up like Christianity has sobered up over the centuries. That's what many believe. But at least the good thing is Tommy somehow has got it right when it comes to Islam. He has seen decades ahead, because what Islam can do to you, only thing you need to do is look into your life, look into my life, look into Mr. Hussein's life, and see what has that done to us. You do not exist in the mainstream media. You do not exist in the news. You do not exist in anywhere. We are expendable. On the other hand, when a nutcase like Sinead O'Connor converts to Islam, who is nothing but a mental case,
Yeah, I mean,
singing Allahu Akbar and all that on a Twitter,
she's
showing her up to here of her chest,
yeah,
singing Allahu Akbar, and she's saying that she's gonna get it right next time.
she,
And
I mean,
BBC makes, sorry Mo, may I
yeah.
finish this? And BBC is making a headline news of it. What is BBC trying to say? That is, oh, you know what? Sinead O'Connor converted to Islam. Oh, Islam must be a good, beautiful religion. Huh?
You think? I mean, absolutely. I mean, she is a well-known entertainer and a singer. I have actually, I got her, album here, and the thing is with the Islamic thinking also is that if a star or a Hollywood star or a singer
or a porn star,
yeah, or a porn star turns to Islam, it means that Islam is good. I don't care if the Queen of England turns to Islam. That doesn't mean Islam is good.
Right?
Yeah,
absolutely. But what about the life of Sinead O'Connor? We know all about it.
She's got issues.
Serious issues.
She's had issues for a long time. Now she's actually skint. Okay, she's
and
skint.
now did she convert to Islam after knowing Islam?
I don't think she does. I don't think, you see, people like her don't look into what Muhammad is. It is like 90% of people that follow Islam haven't a clue what Muhammad did. They haven't got a clue what's in the Quran. They just follow hearsay. And it's the same with her. She hasn't got a clue. You would expect people to look into an individual they follow. You know what I mean? They would look at, I mean, for example, today, if I wanted to accept a friend's request, right, I would look into the person to see who that person is first. People should apply the same principle when they turn to Islam. Look into Muhammad, the person that they intend to follow. See what
And read the
he
dotted
is,
line,
what he did.
basically. Read
Well,
the dotted
exactly,
line.
exactly.
Read the dotted line. You know, there is no cooling off period in Islam. You sign up to it. You next day you say you're going to leave it. The harassment will start, and death threats will start. So
Absolutely.
this is what Islam is all about. And I wonder whether if there is anyone watching this live feed of ours and thinking of converting to Islam, ever read the dotted lines, which is there's no cooling off period. There's never a cooling off period. You will be killed if you leave Islam, and they will kill you if you want to criticize it after leaving it. So we and I know all about it, don't we?
It'll be interesting what she does, because she's got tattoos on her of a cross. I wonder, I wonder what she's going to do with that now. Turn it into a
Quran
present.
calls Trinity monstrous.
Aye.
And yeah, it's monstrous. And also, she said that once in an interview that she believed in the core teachings of Christianity. You are a Christian, and I
Yeah.
believe, being an agnostic atheist man, I respect many of the Christian values, although I do not believe in Christianity, but still I value many of the Christian values. For example, love thy enemy, and things like that. And in one of the interviews, Sinead O'Connor said that she believed in the core values of Christianity. Now, my question is, does she still believe in the core values of Christianity? The core values of Christianity is totally against the core values of Islam.
Absolutely.
So how is she accommodating the two, or is she just totally opposite of the
I
Christian
think
values now?
I think she's got major issues, and I think she is an individual, right? I saw, right, a video of her, and she was crying. She was in a hotel room on her own, pleading for help. She was actually pleading for help, right? And she actually broke down. This is the time that the Muslims went in there, right? When she was at her lowest. This is the time when they saw, oh, hang on a minute,
Vulnerable.
this is a good catch. And that's exactly what's happened.
I think she took a photo with Dr. Umar al-Qadri, the Sheikh, and the Sheikh put up a photo of her with him. Now, Dr. Umar al-Qadri, as far as I know him personally, he's a nice guy. I had a debate with him on the issue of Islam and apostasy. And I think my viewers saw how I exposed Islam as a death cult. My question to Senator O'Connor, somehow if Dr. Umar al-Qadri or Senator O'Connor, they're watching our video, my question is, did she watch that debate? If she did, what should be her opinion?
I think, well, I mean, she is actually in Ireland. I think you should try and get hold of her and speak to her if you can.
She's probably being encircled by her Muslim brothers at the moment, who'd love to have a piece of me. Would love to have a piece of me according to their faith. They would love to have a piece of me. So I think that will be like facing a suicide squad. I'm sorry. No, thank you. No.
You know what, right? The white ladies that turn to Islam in the UK, 80% of them in 2 to 3 years actually turn away from Islam. Yeah, because their husbands or their boyfriends have found another woman. So they turn away from it. And the only reason that they turn to it in the first place, because to be accepted in the community, that's all it is.
To have a bigger number of friends.
Well, exactly. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, a bigger number of new friends. To have a bigger number of friends who protect her or give her a new sense of life.
Yeah.
So that's what it is all about. But I don't believe in all that Trinity. That's too much for me. I believe in one God, and that's all. But Islam is not that all about.
It'll be interesting to see how long she will be able to handle the restrictions, because she's not mentally all there. It'll be interesting to see.
She's not allowed to sing. She's not allowed to. She's not allowed to sing.
No, she's not.
She's not allowed to shave off her hair.
Or shake hands.
Or shake hands. Yes, and she's not allowed. In fact, in the truest sense, she's not allowed to have her pictures up. And she's not allowed to have male friends. She's not allowed to call non-Muslims her friends.
Isn't she gay? I think she's gay.
Well, she said that she was dyke in Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah, she's gay. So how does that?
That's a serious crime, man. It's a serious crime. I mean, how much is going to accommodate? I don't know. Islam is everything, is against everything that she stands at the moment for. You know, she has reasons from her life stories that I read. She has issues with Catholic priests, you know.
That's right, she does.
What about imams, pedophile imams in Pakistan, Bangladesh? We know all about them. What about the pedophile imams who never get reported?
Even here.
Yeah, even here, even in the UK. What about what does she have to say about the imams? If she ever opens her mouth about pedophile imams, she will find out Islam was never the religion for her. You know.
Our friend is also she said hello. In a cat that we saw at I can't say the town. You know, the lady that turned away from Islam and gave a story.
Oh yeah.
And
turned to Islam. Amen. Turned to Islam. Yeah.
Turned away from Islam. Turned away from Islam. She's a Christian now.
Okay.
Yeah. She spoke there where you were.
Oh, okay.
Remember? All right. About I think it was about a year ago. So she's on there and she says hi.
Oh yes. Oh hi. Is she? Because I have stopped seeing the the comments, because that distracts me from speaking to you. I will check on them later. But obviously, we can see that Muslims, many of the Muslims have started throwing abuses towards us anyway.
I'd like to ask you a question, right?
Go on.
Since she has turned to Islam, right, I think, I don't know whether you would agree, I think, right, they will give her a special place, allow her to be who she is in order to draw more into Islam. In other words, they will not be strict and say to her, grow your hair or have a husband. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, if she's being nourished by a particular group, that group will not be able to continue allowing her to be flexible in her belief, because there will be other more religious Islamic groups who will start interfering.
Right.
They will say, sorry, no, this is not Islam. This is, you can't do that, you can't do this. They will start dictating. And if the particular group, who are nourishing her, that particular group tries to be flexible with her, they will come under serious criticism, and they won't be able to handle it.
So it'll be interesting if they ask her to have a husband. That's
good one. Good one. Isn't she married for the 4th time?
I don't know, but I do know that she's gay.
You don't want to marry her and convert to Islam again, would you? No.
Nah, I mean, no.
Right.
I mean, Man, she is in a sad place.
She
Very
has
sad
reached
place.
the age of Sauda, Muhammad's second wife, whom Muhammad wanted to divorce because Muhammad found her to be old. So she has passed that age even. So I don't know how many Muslims will be interested in marrying somebody of that age.
I think there'll be plenty because of who she is.
Oh,
You know,
okay, right, okay,
like
but just for this
like
celebrity status.
the same as Mohammed, he went for an older person because she was rich for who she was.
Yes, yes, Khadija, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So
Now,
it's the same. Yeah, same thing.
the other important issue is the Austrian lady's case.
That's right.
It's a sad case, a situation. I would say it is a shame for us.
Can you explain to the audience?
Well, yes, I will tell you what the news report says. The news report says that calling Prophet Muhammad a pedophile does not fall within freedom of speech. European Court.
Unbelievable.
Now, it is absolutely unbelievable, absolutely, and I will give my opinion in a while. But let me read further into the news. It says, an Austrian woman's conviction for calling the Prophet Muhammad a pedophile did not violate her freedom of speech. And then it goes on to say, Strasbourg-based ECHR ruled that Austrian courts carefully balance the applicant's right to freedom of expression with the right of others to have their religious feelings protected and serve the legitimate aim of preserving religious peace in Austria. What the fuck? I'm sorry, I lost it. Sorry. What? So I have to worry about religious feelings when it comes to freedom of speech? That's bullshit, man. That's
It
bullshit.
is.
So I can't accept that I have to watch my mouth from telling the truth. You know, there are cartoons made for Jesus Christ. You know, you can have American Dad and all kind of American cartoons where they
That's right.
portray Jesus in whatever way they want. You know,
That's right.
so their religious sentiment is not hurt. So
That's
here,
right.
it's a question of religious sentiment when it comes to Islamic case, but it goes on to say that the woman in 2009 held 2 seminars, Basic Information on Islam, during which she likened Muhammad's marriage to a 6-year-old girl, Aisha, to pedophilia. And it says, the court cited Austrian women stated during the seminar that Muhammad liked to do it with children and ... A 56-year-old and a 6-year-old, what do we call it if not pedophilia? So how was she wrong? It goes on to say, that the applicant's comments could only be understood as having been aimed at demonstrating that Muhammad was not worthy of worship. And it found that women's comments were not objective. Listen to this. Were not objective, failed to provide historical background, and had no intention of promoting public debate. What the fuck again?
You know what, right? I'll say this, right?
I'm sorry, Mo, I'm fuming, man. Let me get it out. I'm fuming.
Yeah,
I'm a heart
as well.
patient. I'm going to have a heart attack if I don't spit it out. Seriously. I feel sorry for the Austrian lady because I think that Austrian lady was not helped by any scholar. Because the lawyers in the case couldn't have provided, I'm sure, with enough arguments to back her up. Because she needed someone like me, honestly, to give at least an expert opinion on the issue. Because I have reasons to believe that Muhammad encouraged pedophilia. On record, he encouraged pedophilia.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. Because he had one of the companions named Zabir. He asked Zabir, who are you married to? And he said, is a matron or was she a virgin or young? What was she? He said, Zabir said to Muhammad, she's a matron. And Muhammad said, why don't you marry young girls so that you can play with them. This is hadith. Play. Now you can say, I can play with my wife as well. She's 42 years old. The question is, Muhammad used to play with Aisha when she was playing with dolls. You understand that?
Yeah, yeah.
So she was not talking about playing chess. He was talking about marrying young girls so that he could play with. They could play with them, young girls. You understand? Young girls. So what is the moral teaching there? I'm missing it. What is the moral teaching? And Muhammad not only married Aisha young, Muhammad had a sex slave as a gift from Egypt who was 16 or 17 years old. And now there are hadiths to confirm that Muhammad wanted to divorce Sauda, who according to many Islamic scholars was either 27 or 37. Because after Muhammad's death, Sauda died. Guess how many years after Muhammad's death Sauda died?
Don't know.
Muhammad wanted to divorce because she was appearing to be old to Muhammad. How after how many years? She died 42 years after Muhammad's death. So she couldn't have been like 50, 60, right? So she was, according to Islamic scholars, she was either 27 or 37, and Muhammad wanted to divorce her because they were not like some of the apologetic Muslim scholars would say, because most of Muhammad's wives, Aisha and Hafsa, they were of the same age, So she was like out of group. Sauda was finding her out of the group, because she was like older than others. So none of the Muhammad's wives at that time were more than, like I said, not too much older than Aisha. And Muhammad wanted to marry one of his cousins when he said, he pointed at that girl who was a toddler, and Muhammad said, I would marry her when she grows up. You're getting it?
Yeah.
So now, if some of the Muslim scholars say, you know what, Surah 25, verse 59, and all that, they're talking about orphan girls reaching an age of strength and all that nonsense. They don't know the context of those surahs. There are verses in the Quran where they're talking about sex with girls who haven't started perioding. So we are not going to fall for that hypocrisy. We are not going to fall for those tricks anymore. And I am an scholar in this matter. Mo, you and I are encouraging debate on this, right? I would say I have all the reasons to believe Muhammad encouraged pedophilia. He did.
Absolutely. I mean, for example, right, in the Quran, it says that you cannot be in the same room as a woman who's on her period. And yet in the authentic hadiths, it says that Muhammad fondled Aisha when she was on her period. He fondled her when she was on her period.
Now, well, now the other thing is, I'm happy. We are having the Brexit. Fingers crossed. Yeah. Can an atheist say fingers crossed?
Of course you can.
All right. Okay. Fingers crossed, man. Now, but still in the transition period, ECJ, European Court of Human Rights, and ECJ will have say into this, especially European Court of Justice. And European Court of Human Rights is a separate ballgame, because European Court of Human Rights have 47 signatory states. And I believe, like Lord Hoffman said recently, that European Court of Human Rights should not be acting like the federal court, Supreme Court in the US. You know,
Hmm.
and they do say they should not be. The European Court of Human Rights should not be interfering in the issues of sovereignty and constitution as principles, as a Russian chairman of the Russian Constitutional Court said, because Russia is also a signatory to the
Hmm.
European member of the European Court of Human Rights.
Yeah.
So just getting out of Brexit is not enough. We need to make sure there are amendments made into our understanding with the European Convention on Human Rights, so that our principles, our national principles, and our Bill of Rights principles are not bulldozed. You understand? You know, you're getting me, Mo.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
this
yeah.
is something. It's a wake-up call. The Brexit, European Court of Justice, European Convention of Human Rights, and also this this relationship that we have. We need to worry, because there are moral issues involved. Moral issues.
Yeah.
Although European Convention, European Court of Human Rights talks about morality and all that, but there are many case laws which, in fact, are questionable. And I believe that UK, you know, we do not in UK we do not need dictations from other European nations or from anywhere in the world, as per se,
Uh-huh.
what human right means. Because this nation is the champion of human rights. We have the
That's right.
mother of parliaments. We have the Magna Carta. And now, having all those, we have to be taught what human rights is all about from countries that we freed from dictators.
Absolutely. Germany.
Bullshit, man.
Germany.
Bullshit.
Can
Bullshit.
I
Yeah, go
just
on.
say,
Sorry,
right?
am I swaying too much?
No, no,
I'm
no.
sorry.
Don't
I'm
worry.
sorry, man.
Can
Yeah,
I
go
just
on.
say to the audience, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We do not have to prove that Islam is not peace, because the people that are throwing abuse at you prove it anyway.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I wanna say thank you to those people that are throwing abuse at you, because that does our work
Oh,
for us.
yeah.
We don't have to
Oh,
prove
yeah, very
Islam
much so.
is on peace.
Very much so.
You, the Muslims, do it for us. Thank you very
Yes.
much. Keep on.
Yes, absolutely.
And also, I want to say this. They say that Muhammad is a perfect example for everybody, for all time. I say this. Muhammad is a perfect example for all pedophiles of all time. That's what he is.
Or dictators, or
Yeah,
killers,
and as well.
or
Yeah,
barbarians.
yeah.
But
He is a
we shut our
perfect.
mouth for peace.
He is a perfect example for pedophiles. Can I also say, right, these echoes that you're hearing, I think Facebook are onto you.
Well, I'm taking Facebook to court anyway. You know that.
Right. That's
When the
good.
case is finalized, we're gonna go for it, man.
You should.
You will hear it. You'll hear it. You'll hear it. Oh yeah. But
I think President Trump is also is looking into the antics of Facebook, because they are politically aligned and they should be neutral.
oh yeah, because their community standard is always putting a hammer on our head.
Yeah,
It's always there.
absolutely.
But coming back to the comments that we are getting from vast majority, overwhelming majority of Muslims who are supposed to be peaceful, unlike the fringe minority, I am asking my friends here, the viewers who are not Muslims, or if there is any peaceful Muslim anywhere, I'm going to ask them, is this what you want to be, the streets of Europe? Is this what you want? The understanding of us to watch our mouth and get abuses whenever you're criticizing Islam in the mainstream or in the media or in the streets or in the seminars, that we'll be hounded and abused for criticizing Islam. Is that what you want? You want this to be out in the streets, the abuses that you're getting? Because that's what we get when we go to Muslim majority nations, or even in nations where Muslims are in significant numbers. For example, in India. You know, you have to, you can't say anything. Whatever you say, you are insulting the Prophet. You know, even if you're a Muslim scholar and you say, well, wearing beard is not mandatory. They will start howling at you. They will start throwing abuses at you. And they will tell you you are never a Muslim. So this is what you want to take these comments out in the streets in the UK. Is that what you want? Is that what European Court of Human Rights want? That will shut your mouth when Europe was based on principles like, I may disagree with what you believe, but I will give my blood to make sure that you have the right to express it. What's happening to that then? It's gone. That's what European Court just said. It's gone. I'm not going to stop for any European Court of Human Rights coming 5,000 miles from my stupid fucking nation, coming 5,000 miles, and I'm going to fucking watch my mouth because European Court of Human Rights are 500 euros. I'm going to stop my mouth from calling that monster a pedophile. Will you stop it, Mo?
No, I think we, for example, especially us, we have the right to explain to people why we left Islam. One of the reasons that we left Islam is because Muhammad was a pedophile.
100%.
So we have that right to explain why we left Islam.
Absolutely, absolutely. And listen to this. This is a court case from European Court of Human Rights. The general view on ECHR and freedom of religion could be observed in Kokinakis versus Greece case where the court held, I'll read it for you. They are in one of the foundations of democratic society within the meaning of the convention. In this case, the court held that a fair balance of personal rights made it necessary to accept that others' thought should be subject to a minimum of influence. Otherwise, the result would be a strange society of silent animals that would think but not express themselves, that would talk but not communicate, and that would exist but not coexist. So what is happening to us? You know, so if you read this judgment, then why the hell are you offended when I'm giving our opinion that Muhammad was a pedophile, and we are giving you references from Islamic sources that Muhammad encouraged pedophilia, and he's a man who was to be emulated for all time. Best of character. He's not for a man. He's not a man 1400 years ago only. He's encouraging his followers even today to kill people like you and me. And he's also emulated to the extent of how he used to wear a beard, how he used to brush his teeth for all time, for all time. You know. So you're telling me his pedophilia is not going to encourage anyone? What? Look. In Indian subcontinent, Indian, Pakistan, Bangladesh, we had, the British enacted the Child Marriage Restraint Act back in the 1929-30. And since then, the only community who have protested against it, only community, are the Muslims. Why?
Surprise.
Surprise.
Surprise, surprise, yeah.
Well documented, man. Well documented. So
I do know. I don't know if you probably are aware that in Egypt that they wanted to bring in a law that if your wife died, that within half an hour that they could have intercourse with her because of a authentic hadith.
Yes.
Is that?
Yes. Correct? Yes. And necrophilia. That's what it is.
So did Muhammad actually have intercourse with the dead?
Yes.
Auntie, wasn't she?
Yes.
That's true.
Yes, because he wanted her to be in heaven like other mothers of Muslims, like al Mu'minun. You know, that's what it is. You know. So yes,
that's
true. That man was a fucking nutcase, Mo.
I'm
gonna swear a lot, man, today. I'm fuming, so forgive me. Forgive my viewers. This fucking man, this is killing. It's making me lose my fucking head, man.
This is what freedom of speech is all about. You can swear as much as you want.
Do I have the right to offend or not?
Yeah, you
for
do.
Someone's opinion. Do I have the right to offend someone for his or her view? Yes or no?
We have the right to tell the truth, and if that truth offends a person, then
Do I have to encourage debate all the time?
You know what? I would say to you, to your haters, right? Is
Yeah.
for for
Oh,
once.
my haters are your haters too. Trust me.
Yeah, our haters.
Oh, yeah.
I would say
Our
for
haters.
once,
Yeah.
I would say for once, stop and think on your own 2 feet. Do not think on the programmed information that has been put into your heads. Think on your own 2 feet. Have a critical approach, and you'll
Muslims
find
are
that
not taught to have. Muslims are not
nah,
taught to have critical analysis.
some. I mean, me, for example, I had a critical thinking all the time from an early age, which told me that this Muhammad was a nutter. And the good news is there are millions around the world who are actually leaving Islam, right? As I said,
100%.
if it was free to leave Islam, numbers would drop, right?
Absolutely.
It would
Absolutely.
be it would be small, very small.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I must bring this in, which is the name she has adopted. She has adopted the name Shuhada.
Yeah, what's that? What's that mean?
Shuhada. It comes from the root word shaheed, martyr. Now, I mean, does she have any clue what being a shaheed or martyr means in Islam? The warriors in Islam during Muhammad's time would go to the battlefield with the hope that they would not come back alive. Yeah? And if they came back alive somehow, didn't get killed, they used to cry to Muhammad, "Oh Muhammad, oh Allah's Prophet, why didn't I die? Why didn't I have the prestige of dying as a martyr, as shaheed?" You understand?
Yeah.
So dying for the cause, dying, literally not, you don't have, if you die in the cause of truth, that's an accident, we obviously respect your memory, but you should not go in with the purpose of getting killed. But if you're going there, you know what? I will die, I won't come back. That means you are member of a suicide squad. So in Islam, being a member of the suicide squad team is part and parcel of the core understanding of this religion.
Mm-hmm.
That if you die, you know what? If you die, if you don't come back alive, you are the best of Allah's slaves. You will not be given the ghusl or the ritual bath after you die. You will wake up hereafter with your blood in your face, and Allah will reward you especially because the blood of a martyr is so loved. So
Can I?
everything is like kill, get killed, kill, and in the process get killed. If somebody criticizes Muhammad, kill him. If somebody leaves Islam, kill him. If somebody doesn't convert to Islam or doesn't pay the jizya tax, kill him. What? Kill, and kill. And this is called a civilized understanding of martyr. A martyr in Islam is nothing but a man who is a member of a suicide squad. There's a difference. The Islamic understanding of martyrdom and the martyrdom of, say, Christians being thrown to the lion's mouth are not the same. Or a soldier dying in defending his nation, or a police officer dying in the process of defending the statesman are not the same, because in Islamic understand that there is shahada, there is levels of shahada. If you die in the process of establishing Islam, oh man, you see. And even in Islam, the children are encouraged to be martyrs. Children, because Abu Lahab was killed by children, and the story is glorified by Islamic scholars. Glorified. 2 children died, killed Abu Lahab. Killed him, and then they glorified. That there were 2 kids. Wow. And then when one of the Sahabas chopped up Abu Lahab's head and put on Muhammad's lap, Surah 9 verse 14 came. That jihadis get satisfaction in their heart by killing the enemy.
You were, a preacher for 30 years who actually defended Islam. One
Yeah,
of the
man. Tell me
questions I
about it.
really want to ask you, right? One of the questions I want to ask you this, right, is this. When I grew up in my own home, right, as a Muslim, we had toilet paper. Is it true, right, that Muslims don't use that?
Toilet paper.
Yeah. Is it true? Did you
That
use
has
it?
to be, well, that
Did you
has to
use
be
it?
Anjam Chaudhry type of Muslim, yeah. If you are that level of Muslim, Anjam Chaudhry, then you might have 3 stones in your toilet, 3 pebbles, because
Right.
Muhammad used to brush his backside with 3 pebbles.
Right.
1, 2, 3. He had this love affair with odd numbers, because in Quran Allah loves odd numbers. So even the pebbles were 3 pebbles to wipe his backside. So I don't know whether Anjam Chaudhry wipes his backside with 3 pebbles instead of instead of toilet paper. Probably he does. And whether he has camel urine every morning to have instead of a cup of tea. But probably he does, man. Probably he does, because
So,
Islam loves to be to the nearest to the core, man.
so you as a top scholar of Islam who preached Islam for 30 years, did you use?
Man, I was Majid Nawaz.
Uh,
I was Majid Nawaz. I will somehow find a reason to use the toilet paper, roll it in like a ball, and say, this is the new form of pebbles, like stones, So it's okay to wipe my backside with with a ball like toilet paper, ball it up like a ball and wipe your backside. And somehow that kind of that type of apologetic asshole. That's why I was a
yeah.
hypocrite, man. Somehow, and it's like watching the news. Whenever female newscaster came, you turn your head away, and whenever you hear the male voice, you will start looking again. That kind of
Right.
apologetic
Can I
asshole.
can I can I ask you another question, right?
Yeah.
Men, right, especially the men, right, that follow Islam are very, very lustful, right? And this Allah they follow, this Muhammad they follow, the Allah they follow has now created 72 virgins for them in heaven.
Virgins? You mean prostitutes?
Yeah, prostitutes.
Whores.
Holes, yeah, and that's not heaven. That's not even heaven. That's a brothel. Now, my question to you is, right, will these 72 virgins be wearing the full bloom, bloom, bloom on?
No,
Even in
man.
heaven?
No, man. They will be like
Naked.
leaning in what do you call I think it was violet color or purple color sofas, couches, and they'll be so soft, and their body will be so transparent that you'll be able to see their bone marrows. So transparent, and they will have
Blue
nothing
eyes.
else. Yeah, I'm white. They will have nothing else but to have sex with you. They will have no other purpose. They will not be cooking for you. They will not be, doing anything for you. And you will have one of your wives, if she's obedient to you in heaven, as one of your 72 whores. And listen to this. When I was in Korea, man, I was in South Korea, and I was giving this sermon to fellow Muslims, and a few non-Muslims were there. And one of those smart-ass atheist men was there, and I said, brother, deep down, you love to have women. You love to have sex. So you will have 72 women who will be coming back to have sex with you every time as a virgin. And your wife will be there as well if you want her. And he said, fucking hell, man, what am I going to do with 72 nagging women? I'm fed up with one wife and 72 for eternity. No chance, Jose. So that is smart Alec was part of me waking up process. So
My question is, right, if they got these 72 whores in heaven, right, will they have time?
Please stop using the word. Let's just stop using the word virgins. 72 whores.
Whores.
Yeah.
If they
Houris are
have
whores,
these,
same thing.
yeah, if they have these 72 whores in heaven, will they have time to give attention to Allah?
No, no, no. They will, I mean, I don't know whether the question is whether
Worship.
they will tell the Jannati man, the man in heaven, oh, I'm going
Yeah.
to heaven, oh, I'm going to heaven, oh Allah, at the time of the intercourse. I don't know that. I'm not that much of a scholar who knows that whether those women will be praising Allah at the time of sex. I don't know. They're having the sex at the same
So
time praising Allah. I don't know.
what I mean when when the women end up in heaven, what's there for them?
They will. The hadith is very clear. One of the Muslim scholars made it very clear in Memory TV. I uploaded that few days ago. That the man's penis will never bend, and so the woman they will never bend, and they will keep on having sex day and night, and the men will not be urinating, or they will not be having feces. They will be having their feces, and their urines will come out as sweat, and they will all be around 32 33 years of age, and you will have non-stop sex day and night. I mean, there's no discussion session. There is no provision in the Quran that where they will be having serious Islamic discussions. The only discussion they might have are the discussions of praising the fruit, praising the women. Wow, oh wow, beautiful women, beautiful fruit. Reminds me of Allah's instructions in during our lifetime. But they will not have real scholarly discussion. But I would want to go to heaven. Even if I'm told that Islam is true, somehow proven, and I'm told that you will go to Jannah, I don't want to go to Islamic Jannah. Mo, seriously. Because I will not have Stephen Hawking there. I would love to have, say, Beyonce as my sex partner in heaven. Is my wife listening? I mean, she's not kidding me. So, yeah, I don't want to take my chance with someone wearing a burqa and a niqab and taking the face veil off, and I find out, man, she didn't brush her teeth properly. So I don't want to.
Yeah. I mean, what happens, for example, to the women here on earth when they end up in heaven? What will they get in
The woman?
Yeah.
The woman will get a man whose penis will never bend, man. That's it.
That's it. Just one man.
That's it. And that's and that is in hadith. That's not even in Quran. Quran doesn't say anything
I
about
didn't
what the
know.
woman will get.
So
Yeah, that's it.
so there'll be one man in heaven whose penis will not bend.
Never bend, man. And that will be our husband, most likely.
That means that they will have a Viagra every day.
I don't know, man. I don't know what they will have. I think a woman who wants to be, penetrated 24/7, she has to be out of her mind as well. Out of her mind as well. There's what kind of heaven? I mean, look, there is no mentioning of birds singing in Islamic Jannah,
or any animals,
or anything saying, anybody singing. They will be not serving us lamb chops. Because Muhammad got confused probably. He was thinking, let's have lamb chops in Jannah or heaven, Then someone told him probably, hey Mo, not you, man. Hey Mo, you can't have lamb chops in heaven. Then Mo said, why? Because he said, how come dead people will be having dead animals? they're already dead. So dead cannot have dead. So let's have fruits. So no lamb chops for you, man. No KFC.
You know what? The beauty of us having this talk is, imagine if the two of us were white Englishmen. They would say racist, far right, but they can't call us that. That's the beauty of us having a chat like this.
Well, the thing is, there are few weapons that ultra conservative Muslims use against us. And it is true that almost all Muslims hate ex-Muslims. Almost all hate
And they call us
ex-Muslims.
haters. And
They
they
call us
call us
haters.
haters.
All, almost all ex-Muslims are hated by almost all Muslims. That's the reality of it. Because they have nothing sustainable against us. Because they can't call us racist, what they usually do against those who ever criticize Islam.
Yeah.
They can't say that we are doing it for money, because you and I have lost
I'm skint.
everything.
I'm struggling.
Oh man! If I sit down at any law office, they will probably come with a machete or a machine gun and they'll shoot me. So we can have a decent livelihood as well. So they can't say that we are doing it for money. They can't say that we are doing it for women, because we are not the ones who are preaching that you will have 72 whores. So they can't say that we are doing it because we hate migrants, because you come from migrant family and I am myself a migrant.
That's right.
So why are we doing it again? We are doing it because we don't want this country, one of the last places that we can live in, to go to the dogs, basically. Because my wife is Canadian. I live a good bit of time of the year in Canada. I can easily migrate to Canada. My mother is an American citizen. My sisters are American citizens. My eldest son is an American citizen. I can easily live in the US. I am not going to leave my post. I'm not going to leave the country that gave me citizenship. And I took an oath.
No, I'm not either.
I took an oath that I will live up to my expectation as a British citizen. I took my oath, man. And I'm not going to leave my post. I'm going to fight with all my intelligence, with all my knowledge and wisdom against this evil, encroaching religion, which a death cult, which calls itself religion. It's a death cult. It deserves no respect, and they want you and me to watch our mouth about someone who instructed his followers to kill us. Fucking out of their mind, man.
Now, here's the thing, right? They accuse of hate speech or haters, and yet the evidence shows they're the ones who hate us, because they're the ones who want to execute us.
Absolutely. And the hate is trained. It's a trained hate mongering. Trained. Because you will see a pattern of hatred. It's about time, I think, the British Parliament needs to somehow create an ad hoc committee or a body to investigate into the sufferings of ex-Muslims. Because we need a special laws to protect us. Because in America, it has been done.
It has been done.
Yes, and we need a special laws to be enacted. Because in America, President Obama signed the amendment of the Religious Freedom Act, which allowed people to leave religion and criticize it. But we need something like that to be made specific.
Yeah, I think what we need is, for example, if an honor crime happens, the police have to give that a priority. What they ought to do is include apostasy in that bracket of honor crimes, because apostasy is also to do with honor as well, the honor of Islam, that we are dishonoring Islam. So they need to put that into that bracket and treat this incident with priority. That's what needs to happen. And we need an MP in House of Parliament who has the balls to raise this issue.
And not only killing, harassment, ostracization, discrimination.
Absolutely.
Social tabooing, witch hunting, because you see, every time you and I speak, every time we upload a video, we see hate mongers pouring in. There's a pattern of abusive languages, the same pattern of abusive languages, which prove that they are trained by their Muslim scholars and leaders to behave like that. against people who criticize them. So there is a pattern of behavior that they pursue, a pattern of behavior, and this is coming from the worst hate manual in human history, which is Quran, because the Quran teaches you how to curse, hate non-Muslims. It teaches you how to get united, create a suicide squad, a death cult, and establish its ideologies and ideas on the face of the earth.
What?
Example,
Yeah.
Surah Fatiha, the opening surah of the Quran. It ends with two verses which in fact are condemning the Christians and the Jews as the people who are cursed and derailed.
And this is included in the Friday prayers.
It is in every prayer. Surah Fatiha is prayed in every prayer 5 times a day. So the Surah Fatiha, if you read the context of the surah, I'll even listen up to the scholarly discussions on YouTube even, including Sheikh Hamza Yusuf, world-renowned scholar, or even any scholar, you name it, Yatir Qadi. You will listen to them and they will have no choice. Or even you want to read up the book, even Khatir, and read all the Tabari. They all say this refers to the Christians and the Jews, the last verses of Surah Fatiha. And Muslims are obliged to read it in every rak'ah of
Can
the
I
prayer.
just briefly say that one of the people who are tuned in have said that the echo is from your end, so that means that Facebook are messing with you.
Whatever, but it's still, I'm sorry to my viewers. I don't know where it's coming from. If it is, I apologize. I can't fix it at the moment, so I apologize. But obviously, do struggle a bit and try to get the point that Mo and I are making.
Can I ask you, right? What would you say to Antifa if you were standing before Antifa? What would you say to them?
Learn your facts. Learn your facts. Get your facts right. Because you need to dig deep. What, first of all, racism means. You need to dig deep. What Islam really means. Then proceed, I would say. And so we'll see.
Yeah, because I think a lot of them just don't have a clue what on earth that they are there for in the first place. When I actually go up to Antifa and I confront them and I say, hang on a minute, men from my own community raped white kids. That is racism. And they freeze because they don't know what to say to that.
Why do you have Muslim Council of Britain leaders rubbing shoulders with them?
Exactly.
Muslim Council of Britain was established by the leaders of some of the leaders of Jamaat Islami, and still they have many of their members who in fact have Jamaat Islami roots,
which is now outlawed.
It's not outlawed. No, Jamaat Islami
it's not
is not outlawed. No,
I mean,
no. But the Islamic Forum of Europe is in fact Jamaat Islami.
Is it? Okay.
And Islamic Forum of Europe and Jamaat Islami are the same thing, and they have their Muslim Brotherhood on their side, and Muslim Brotherhood, Sayyid Qutb, Maulana Maududi, they are, especially Maulana Maududi and Sayyid Qutb, they are in fact the forefathers of Islamic State movement now, we see, So these are, I mean, one of the, I think British government's reports said that Muslim Brotherhood and Jamaat Islami, a couple of years ago, I think that report came out, are preaching hate. So I don't know why they still are not banned, and how we see this is strange, Mo. I don't know whether they have any, British government, they have any reason to somehow tolerate these evil people. when they are saying use hands against atheists sitting in the East London Mosque, or one of the Bangladeshi leader who comes to Northern Ireland, a British man, British Bangladeshi, who in fact encouraged killing of ex-Muslims or atheists. I don't know how come these people are not being arrested. I don't know.
I think, right, there's two elements to that. And if these two elements did not exist, they would have told Islam to get lost, right? These are the two elements that fuel them. And they are the votes and oil. Because take away those two elements, right, and the West would have told them to get lost years ago.
But I think also fear. I think now Saudi Arabia is a nation which is very powerful, not only for its oil, but also because of the fact that it has spread successfully its militant imams all over the world. And it has funded thousands of mosques around the world, thousands of brainwashed Medina University graduates around the world who might work as their soldiers if it is needed. So I believe that the West is somehow afraid of that as well.
What I also find interesting is that the British Army, because most of the rank and file individuals that are in the British Army are working class individuals from working class homes, right? What's happening now with Tommy is now we are seeing the truthful nature of the British Army now, because the rank and file individuals in the British Army do understand what Tommy is speaking of, which I find very, very encouraging. And I think people are starting to slowly wake up, very slowly wake up.
Yes.
As I said previously, the wheels are turning slowly, and it takes people like you and me to add a bit of drop of oil on there for it to turn quicker.
Absolutely. Now, anyway, I think we had a very good discussion, Mo.
Yeah, I think the audience have enjoyed our funny.
Subhanallah.
The penis.
We'll continue this. Mo.
Okay, no worries.
Nice talking to you, man, as usual.
And you as well.
Don't look for any young brides, so.
No, don't worry.
Take care, bro.
Don't worry.
Peace.
Okay, peace to you as well.